Well, we are so happy that you have decided to spend this morning with us. We are so very excited to be celebrating 50 years here at Rotary Storyland and Playland. By a show of hands, is there anyone here who actually came in 1962? There's one. All right.
Yeah.
Well, we cannot believe it, but to the day, today is 50 years here at Rotary Storyland, and it's something that certainly we are very proud of, and something that we are extremely grateful that you've decided to celebrate with us. Storyland opened on May 19th, 1962, and I am very, very proud and privileged to introduce to all of you Pat Hopper, who is here with us today. Pat Hopper, I think they're going to bring her up here, is the original artist and curator of Rotary Storyland. She joined us. Make a way for her. She's coming up, everybody. Pat Hopper did many of the original designs of Rotary Storyland, and we are certainly excited to have her with us today. And if we could all collectively give Pat a big round of applause. I got the chance to chat with Pat several years back, and one of the conversations that I'll never forget that we had is we were talking about the history of Storyland, and we were talking specifically about, you know, did anybody even think it would be here? And this was when it was close to the 45th anniversary, and Pat told me very clearly, she said, you know what? I don't think when we were planning this that anyone thought it would be here this long. And so it really is a testimony, I think, to this community, and it's a testimony to the people of this area in this Central Valley that Storyland still exists today. Well, we want to do a couple of things here this morning, and let me kind of tell you what's going to happen at this dedication ceremony here. We have a couple of resolutions that we'd like to read. Storyland today is being honored by the City of Fresno, by the County of Fresno, and by the Assembly, both the Senate and the Assembly of the State of California today. And so we'd like to read those, and I don't know, is Gregory Barfield here?
Yeah.
Not yet? Do you want to go? With us today is LaShawn Baines, everybody. She is the wife of Councilman Oliver Baines. And so let's give her a hand, and she is going to read a proclamation that was written by the city, particularly Mayor Ashley Swearingen.
From the office of Mayor Ashley Swearingen, whereas Fresno Storyland opened to the delight of citizens across the entire Central Valley on May 19, 1962, and whereas from the beginning, Storyland has been dedicated to the children of the Central Valley in a location where children can leave the world of reality and enter into the world of fantasy and fairy tales, and whereas it is 50 years history. Storyland has had several million visitors and has brought delight to the lives of children while promoting education, literacy, and affordable entertainment as its mission. And whereas in 1994, when Fresno Storyland was close to extinction, Rotary Playland came to the rescue with the funds to keep Storyland open. Fresno Storyland thus became Rotary Storyland and began to share resources with Rotary Playland, and whereas today the focus on literacy, education, and affordable entertainment continues to be the focus of Rotary Storyland, and Saturday, May 19, 2012 marks the 50th anniversary of the day that this important mission began. Now therefore be it resolved that Mayor Ashley Swearingen do hereby proclaim May 19, 2012 to be Rotary Storyland 50th Anniversary Day in the city of Fresno.
We are going to have all of our special guests are going to be presented with a special gold key. And LaShawn, Caleb has a special gold key for you this morning. And please share that with Oliver and give him our best, for sure. Next up, I want to introduce Ted Marcella. Ted Marcella is the current chair of the board of Rotary Storyland and Playland, and he is going to be reading the proclamation from the County of Fresno.
Thank you, Barry, and welcome. From the County of Fresno, resolution, whereas Storyland opened to public on Saturday, May 19, 1962, and immediately captured the hearts of children across the valley. And whereas Storyland, in its 50-year history, has welcomed generations of children and adults as they pass through its gates into a fairy tale kingdom of fantasy and wonder. Whereas Storyland has a deep commitment to children's education and literacy and welcomes thousands of children each year for school field trips to encourage early literacy and show young children how fun reading really can be. And whereas Storyland faced possible closure in 1994 before the Storyland and Rotary Playland boards joined forces in April of that year. Playland donated $100,000 to preserve the Fresno treasure, and the organization joined together to brand the parks as Rotary Storyland and Playland. And whereas on Saturday, May 19th, 2012, Rotary Storyland celebrates 50 years of creating memories for children and family of Fresno County and Central California. Now therefore be it resolved that the Fresno County Board of Supervisors offers congratulations and best wishes on the occasion of the 50th anniversary of Rotary Storyland.
And finally, we have gotten a very beautiful resolution from the state of California legislature. You show that to them real quick. It was beautiful. Little thing we'll hang up, certainly. But let me read this from the state of California. It says, by the Honorable Henry T. Perea, 31st Assembly District, and the Honorable Michael J. Rubio, 16th Senatorial District, relative to Rotary Storyland and Playland. Whereas, after more than 50 years of creating memories for the children and families of Fresno County and Central California, Rotary Storyland and Playland, nestled in the shade of Roding Park in Fresno, is deserving of special public recognition. And whereas Rotary Storyland and Playland traces its roots back to Dr. Joe Logan, who served as the president of North Fresno Rotary Club from 1954 to 1955 and first imagined Playland in Roding Park. And whereas in the spirit of community service, Dr. Logan created the idea of a playland with rides on city property, and the revenue from the park was designated to providing funds for additional park facilities throughout the Fresno area, and a lease was agreed upon with the city and Playland was constructed in record time. And whereas only a few years after Playland opened to the public on May 30th, 1955, Storyland also captured the hearts of children across the valley on May 19th, 1962 as a park where stories would come alive. And whereas with a deep commitment to children's education and literacy, Storyland has hosted countless school children each year for school field trips, and the park has demonstrated a great dedication to the arts through hosting children's theater for decades. And whereas originally funded by the City of Fresno and the Junior League of Fresno, Storyland faced possible closure in 1994, and as it neared extinction, Rotary Playland came to the rescue, donating $100,000 to preserve the Fresno treasure. And whereas, in addition, the boards and organizations of both parks joined together in April of that same year to brand the parks as Rotary Storyland and Playland, and over the past 50 years has contributed over $2 million to the community. Lastly, whereas a park devoted to fantasy and fairy tales, Rotary Storyland and Playland is an outstanding addition to Roding Park and continues to be a place of fantasy and wonder for all children. Now, therefore ever be it resolved by Assembly Member Henry T. Perea and Senator Michael J. Rubio that they draw special attention of the public to Rotary Storyland and Playland, point with immense pride to the educational experiences it has provided its visitors from local community and beyond, and commend all those who have given their time and resources to ensure its success. That's it. Thank you. It really has been an amazing journey here at Rotary Storyland, and I specifically would like to, before we move on to the castle dedication, recognize two specific people who have put a tremendous amount of work into this day. I want to specifically recognize Nancy Flores and Ann Meester, two of our board members, who have really coordinated this day and made this day possible. They are members of our events team, and of course, on behalf of our entire board and everybody, thank you to the two of you. Caleb. we're doing one other thing that's extremely special today. And today marks the rededication ceremony of King Arthur's Castle, which was an original fixture here at Rotary Storyland in 1962. I am pleased and honored to have with us some representatives of East Fresno Rotary Club, who was charged with, took on the responsibility, and has now accomplished the task of renovating really probably one of the most iconic fixtures in all of the Fresno area, King Arthur's Castle. And I want to specially recognize Anthony Teresi, who is here today, who was the supervisor for this project. He's there kind of in the middle. Anthony, wave your hand one more time. Anthony is a contractor here in town and supervised the project on behalf of East Fresno Rotary Club, but they did not do it alone. We have a beautiful recognition sign here, and we want to, of course, recognize East Fresno Rotary and all of its members for their hard work, their dedication, their fundraising to make this happen. We want to thank Bill Petzel Painting, who donated the painting, Macy's, the department store, a nice grant for Macy's, Mark Wilson Construction, who Mark could not be here today, but is the current president of East Fresno Rotary Club, Quality Builders, which is Anthony's company, Patent Air Conditioning, Harris Electric, Tim Bremer is here today with Harris Electric, CNC Designs and Doors, John Burns Company, Pacific Door, Fresno Ag Hardware, and Pat Hunter, who is another local artist who has painted some of the great artwork that we see of King Arthur's Castle. And really, if it is not for East Fresno's leadership in this, their commitment and their dedication to Rotary Storyland, this simply would not be happening today. Anthony, you want to say anything? All right. But let's give East Fresno Rotary and all of those who contribute to the renovation a nice hand. We would be remiss if we did not once again recognize Pat Hopper, who is the original artist and designer of Storyland. She's now in the back, a little bit in the shade, but we'd like to honor her with a special gold 50th anniversary key as well. And so we'll be bringing that back to her right now. Again, Pat, we're so happy you're here today. So happy to see you. And lastly, actually there's two more things. One of the wonderful things that has happened in the redesign and the redevelopment of King Arthur's Castle is we get the privilege to do something today that has not been done literally, I think, in decades. For years, one of the questions that gets asked to us more often than not is, why can't you get on top of the castle anymore? Why can't you stand on top of the castle anymore? We are so excited today to say that today we will be previewing for the first time, and in the coming weeks, the doors will be placed on permanently, but the roof to the castle is now open once again. So in a few minutes, we will invite you all to take part in that. We will invite you all into the castle to see some of the work that's been done and to enjoy the roof of the castle as well once again. So we're very, again, so grateful to East Fresno Rotary. Can we give them and all of those who have participated in the renovation one more round of applause? So there's this beautiful cake here. Did you all see the cake? And not everyone's going to get a part of this cake. However, we have tons of cupcakes, lots, and those are going to be served down the way in just a little bit. But I am going to do something. I'm going to ask if Ted would do it with me. And Anthony, why don't you come over here and join me too? We are going to try to cut a piece of this cake with a sword. We're going to see how this works. And so this is going to be a photo moment. Let's get some photos of this for sure. But we are going to, right down there, right? Just to there, right? Okay.
Don't get into that cake.
It's only appropriate that we cut Storyland's 50th anniversary cake with King Arthur's sword, and so we are happy to do that. We are going to cut this cake up a little bit somehow, and I'm not sure exactly how that's happening, but if you're around here, you may get a bite of this. If not, we do have cupcakes for you down there. Right now, what we're going to be doing is we will be opening the doors to the castle. We would ask that if you all go up there, that you would, just as best as you can, let's not have 1 million people on the roof at one time. That'd probably be for the best for everybody. But we invite you sometime during the day to tour the castle and tour the roof of the castle. It will be open today only for a preview day until we get the new doors installed on top, and then it will be open permanently, the roof of the castle, any operational day at Storyland. So we thank you so much. We do want to thank this beautiful cake. How many of you guys enjoyed the cake? Is it beautiful? We want to thank Maddie Cakes for the cake. Maddie Cakes is the one responsible for the cake. Go see them, and obviously they do some very beautiful work. You'll want to see them. But we want to just thank you all for being a part of this very special ceremony at the castle. We'll be opening the doors to the castle right now. We'll be cutting some cake, and shortly we'll have cupcakes down in the brick courtyard below. So one more hand for all of the great support, and thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. Thank you all.